The story begins with a young woman feeling out of place at a social event. She approaches a young man beside her and inquires about his studies in the science department. He reveals that he is an applied physics student, but condescendingly remarks that she may not grasp it if he explains. She finds him to be courteous, but is taken aback when he questions her affiliation with a different faculty and promptly requests her Instagram ID, suggesting they grab drinks together. Irritated, she declines, noticing his inappropriate stare. Her friend steps in and wonders if she ever converses with guys. Clarifying that the gathering was arranged for her to meet genuine individuals, the friend argues against making assumptions based on departments and suggests making new friends. The girl, doubtful, questions the validity of this approach. Her friend, frustrated, maintains that it is and leaves. Reflecting on the encounter, the girl acknowledges that despite dressing modestly, perceptions of her remain unchanged. She yearns for others not to judge her solely on appearance. In her perspective, relationships should be built on enjoying each other's company, meaningful discussions, getting to know each other, and naturally developing love for each another. She desires a regular relationship. At that moment, a young man takes a seat beside her and gently inquires about her well-being, suggesting that she should inform the organizer and head home if she is feeling unwell. She appreciates his concern, reassuring him that she is fine and thinking that he appears genuinely kind. He asks if she is part of their faculty. She explains that she hopes to meet someone new at the party. Observing that he is looking straight ahead, she assumes he is not interested in her. They continue chatting casually, and he mentions a guy nearby who is at the top of their class and popular with the ladies. She wonders if he is serious about discussing this, but he confesses that he doesn't know much about the guy and is only at the party to balance out the numbers. Intrigued, he asks why she chose to attend a party full of science majors. She replies that she is not concerned about their reputations, although she secretly admits she can be quite flashy. She is hoping to find someone genuine who will appreciate her for who she truly is. He reflects on her words and agrees, saying it's a good mindset. She introduces herself as Nakaju Ichika and inquires whether he frequently attends these types of parties. Sanari Kusai reveals that he typically spends most of his time in a lab. She shows interest in his research, encouraging him to share more details. He decides to change the subject, not wanting to bore her with his research. She reassures him that even though she may not fully understand, she is still eager to listen. He acknowledges that explaining everything would take a long time and suggests saving it for another occasion. Changing the conversation, he inquires about her usual activities during leisure time. She confesses her fascination with paranormal videos, which catches him off guard. Enthusiastically, they discuss their favorite channels, bonding over this shared interest. After the party, Ichika remarks that she has never had such long conversations with anyone before. He chuckles, admitting that he can get very intense during conversations and jokingly mentions that she was speaking at double speed, which he found a bit overwhelming. Somewhat annoyed, she questions if he was put off by this, particularly when they were having a pleasant conversation. Initially thinking she would leave feeling down, she credits him for uplifting her mood by the end of the night. He inquires if she come with a friend, to which she replies that her friend should have left by now. Gently touching her face, he notices a stray strand of hair and fixes it for her. She thanks him and he appears momentarily surprised. Just then, her friend arrives and apologizes for keeping her waiting. He bids her farewell, reminding her to take care. On their way home, Ichika's friend asks if they exchange contact details, which makes Ichika feel a bit uneasy. Her friend inquires if they have common interests. Later, at home, Ichika finds herself conversing with Sunari and remembers that they have only been texting since that day. Contemplating asking him to hang out, she struggles with how to approach the situation, wishing they were in the same department so they could see each other frequently. The following day, while Ichika is engrossed in taking notes in the library, Sunari surprises her by tapping her on the shoulder with a smile. Startled, she questions why he is there. He mentions that since they both attend the same university, it's not unusual to run into each other. Seating across from her, he begins texting to comply with the library's regulations. She remarks that she has never seen him in the library before, and he explains that he is working on a challenging assignment. She teases him that he is not dead yet, and he laughs, conveying agreement through text. Ichika is happy to see him again and considers suggesting that they walk home together. When she notices him staring at her, she returns his gaze blankly, thinking that this must be what Sunari looks like in university. She then receives a text from him mentioning that she is staring too much and asking if there is something on his face or if his clothes look weird. Feeling embarrassed, she quickly replies that she was just spacing out. He responds by saying that he gets nervous when she stares at him like that. Blushing, she tells him that she will focus on studying instead, and wonders if she always acts like this. He then asks her how long she plans to stay in the library. While on their way back home after university, he asks if she lives nearby. She confirms, and he comments that it must be convenient to have so many places close by. Noticing her demeanor, he checks to see if she is all right. She laughs and reassures him, although she didn't expect him to suggest walking home together and suddenly feels a bit on edge. A boy walking by makes a silly comment about her. Sunari looks at her blankly and she tells him it's okay. He then asks if it's difficult to handle such things. She acknowledges that being approached in that way can sometimes dampen her mood. She explains that she is self-conscious about her height and feels insecure about her appearance and personality. She describes how she used to avoid drawing attention to herself, but eventually realized that making a drastic change was not so awful. Consequently, she has stopped caring about what strangers may say about her. He smiles and tells her that it is because she exudes confidence and carries herself well. Grateful for his words, she inquires whether the topic was uncomfortable for him. She remarks that most people typically do not pay attention to such things. She makes a jest that if she was shorter, she might come across as more approachable, as she believes her height makes her appear intimidating. He gazes thoughtfully at her and disagrees, stating that he does not find her intimidating at all. Curious, she insists on knowing if he truly believes that. Suddenly, he grabs her cloth, mentioning a passing cyclist, asking if she is okay. He notes that being near her makes him feel shy rather than intimidating, jokingly suggesting that being tall is not so terrible after all. She gives him a puzzled look before grasping his arm. At that moment, his phone rings and he apologizes, leaving her feeling awkward. She says it is okay, while he mentions needing to go back to a friend's house near the school. Apologizing again for not being able to walk her home, they say goodbye. Ichika wonders if it is too early to confess her feelings for him but ponders how he would react if she did. She wishes she had just been more upfront about it. The following day in class, she messages him to check if he is free for dinner after school. He didn't reply and she assumes he may be busy. Suddenly, her friend shows up and inquires if she is still in contact with Sunari. Ichika confirms that she is. Her friend mentions hearing about Sunari being quite active at social gatherings recently. Ichika laughs it off, questioning the credibility of such rumors. Her friend explains that it was mentioned by someone at the event and advises her to keep it in mind. Smiling, Ichika reassures her friend, confident that everything is okay. She mentions that Sunari did not give any indication of romantic interest, thinking he only sees her as a friend. She dismisses the idea of anything more between them as a misunderstanding. Out of the blue, she receives a text from Sunari, agreeing to hang out and saying he will be free after the 5th period, inquiring about her schedule. After university, she spots him in the distance, having a conversation with another girl who hands him a bag, expressing her desire to meet him later. As she gets closer, Ichika apologizes for making him wait. He responds with a smile and a wave. Upon noticing a hoodie in his bag, she questions why he has it during the summer months. He explains that he left it at a friend's house. Ichika then apologizes for her previous remark and inquires about his relationship status. He clarifies that the girl is just a friend. Playfully teasing him, she remarks that the girl didn't seem like a mere friend and wonders if they are close enough for him to take her to school. He clarifies that the girl lives nearby, so there's no need for it. Ichika probes further about his feelings for the girl. He hesitates momentarily before denying any romantic connection, mentioning that he only spends time with girls who prefer casual relationships. Lost in thought, Ichika sits down on a bench, realizing that he is the type of guy she should stay away from, someone who casually dates multiple girls. She recalls the time when he turned back towards the direction of that girl's place after leaving the library, leading her to feel disappointed. In her thoughts, she is unable to hear him calling her name. She criticizes herself for not realizing this earlier, understanding that she was not even considered for something serious by him. It feels like she was rejected before having the chance to confess her feelings. Fed up with men like him, she had no clue he had that kind of personality. She jokes about possibly having some fun as well. Sitting beside her, he inquires about what she means. She chuckles and mentions that despite her appearance, she is actually quite serious and lacks the charm to act carefree. Perhaps there is no one out there who will genuinely appreciate her for who she is. He reassures her, calling her cool and tough yet honest, advising her to be authentic. Placing a hand on her head, she gazes up at him, blushing, thinking to herself that he is being unfair. Suddenly standing up, she decides to head home. There is no reason to dwell on it. She has moved on. Changing the topic, she asks about what they should eat. He notices her positive attitude. She playfully suggests that she could eat at least 10 burgers right now due to the mental breakdown. Laughing, he agrees to indulge her, and she contemplates what to eat. Watching her, he smiles, hoping she continues to smile. She gazes at him, wondering if they can remain friends, believing she will never develop feelings for a guy like him, then blushes and dismisses the thought.